The Nintendo Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, and the numerous spin-off systems, and the special edition systems, but mostly the first three set the bar for handheld gaming. So let's count down the top 10 Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance accessories. Number 10. The Worm Light. It lit up the screen of your Game Boy Color or Advance. Back to the Worm Light though. I'm going to show you how kinda necessary it was by playing my Game Boy Advance in the dark. Look at that, I can't see what's on this. So we got our Worm Light inserted in now, and presto, we can see exactly what's going on. If it just moves out of the way, you just gotta get in close, and there we go. A nice glare on the screen, kinda adds to the difficulty a bit. And number 9 is the Game Boy Shoes. These are high heel and platform shoes where the main fashion accessory involved is the Game Boy Color. These shoes were just meant for show. They were not meant to be sold in stores or used as a unique way to carry your Game Boy. This is a Game Boy accessory, as opposed to an accessory for the Game Boy. So by the most literal credentials, it fits the topic of this list. Number 8 is the Game Boy Pocket Sonar. This is sonar for detecting fish in the water. You know, for fishing. This is a completely working fish sonar only released in Japan. It comes with all these accessories to create a working sonar. Just load in the game pack and you're good to go. There's even a mini game on there for you to play. It's also related to fishing. Number 7 is the Work Boy. This would have turned our Game Boy into a digital Swiss Army knife with functions that we would consider standard on smartphones today. The Work Boy extension for the Game Boy would have given the user the ability to convert currency, type small documents, check the time, and more. It even comes with a full keyboard, and I say would have since it was ultimately never released. Or at least it never had a widespread release despite how developed it looked in the old reports of it. Number 6. The Game Boy Printer. If you wanted to use this behemoth of an accessory, all you needed was a game that utilized the print function, 6 AA batteries, and of course a Game Boy, but that's probably a given so I don't need to mention that. Also plenty of thermal paper. This did not use ink. Number 5 is the various devices that were meant to enhance the Game Boy, such as the Handy Boy or the Booster Boy. This technology encompassed the Game Boy, making it more difficult to hold, but in return it enhanced nearly everything about the Game Boy. For example, some of the buttons became bigger. In some cases, the D-pad was turned into a joystick. We had more sound amplified through the speakers, and there was even a magnifier for the screen along with a light. The main good thing that came out of them was the magnifier-light combination, which was thankfully released on its own. Number 4 is the e-reader. Although that sounded a bit sarcastic, I actually liked the e-reader for the main function I gave it, which is playing NES games on the Game Boy. Just swipe the 7 card codes to get the games to work. Don't worry though, you can save the game you just scanned. That's game in singular form. It can't save more than one game, so have fun swiping! Each pack of cards cost about $4, so for about $20 you could get 5 games to put on this monster lurking at the end of your Game Boy. Despite the somewhat tedious task of swiping the cards to get the games working if you didn't want to play the one game you saved, the game's controls were very responsive and just like how you remembered them. The problem was Nintendo tried to relate too many things to the e-reader, like add-ons for the Game Boy or GameCube games. Number 3 is the Game Boy Camera. It was developed by Game Freak. This could have just been a digital camera and its function would have been fulfilled. However, Game Freak put in a few fun mini-games, a few interesting design choices, and some secrets. The Dancing Mario at the start is a good representation about how random this camera can be. What I like about the command menu for the camera itself is Game Freak went for something unexpected. They made the interface similar to an RPG battle menu. The cartoon character in the center represents the main character, and the various camera features are named after typical RPG commands. Attack, or shoot, is your basic camera option. The items option is the timer camera. Magic is for the various effects you can add to the camera. Check allows you to check the film, I guess. And the final option is run. I'm sure they had something clever. What? Why? It's fine. Let's just exit out of this and never talk about it again. Unless... Alright, it's just random. So it does that in... Okay, that's it. I'm done. The rest of the features on this camera are pretty good for a game that is actually meant to be a game and not just an accessory. I felt like the game was worth the price at the time it was released with all the simple but addictive mini-games and features you could play around with. It didn't particularly age well, but in the context of the time when it came out, it was a well put together item. Number 2 is the Super Game Boy. While there's not much more I can say other than you get a bigger screen to play Game Boy games with, I will say I like the added touch of certain games getting a custom border around the screen. The Game Boy Player is the spiritual successor to the Super Game Boy, which is the GameCube version that allowed you to play Game Boy Advance games on the big screen. For number 1, I chose a classic, the Link Cable. This was before a time of Wi-Fi, so the Link Cable was the best way to play with friends for games that were not available on console, or just give people a chance to play with friends if they did not own the main consoles like the NES or the SNES. However, there was one game, or more two, that really pushed out the Link Cable toward the end of the original Game Boy's life, Pokemon Red and Blue version. The Link Cable basically stayed the same through each generation of the Game Boy, with a wireless one finally being created in the middle of the Game Boy Advance life cycle.
And that was MrTopTenList's Top 10 Game Boy Accessories without the fluff. It's not a game show. I'm Gord. I'm sorry, I'm currently living above a crocodile den and below a chicken coop. I don't like it. I want to see how top 10 lists are without the fluff, so I reached out to our host and see if I could do an episode, and, well, they said yes. So, how does this one fare? Bam! With a few edits, we were able to get down from 50 minutes and 38 seconds to 5 minutes and 53 seconds. We cut it down to 37.63% of the original size. We have a compression ratio of 2.66 to 1. We cut out 9 minutes and 45 seconds, 585 seconds total, or the equivalent of 6.5 moments. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. It's the first top 10 list. You gotta start somewhere. Like, just take a look at what's around you. Bam! I want to thank MrTopTenList for letting me use this video. They've got a lot of good videos in their show, their channel and everything. Go check them out. My favorite one involves like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Somehow it just speaks to me. I've added their contact information below into the void below. But that's all I can really say because this show's called Without the Fluff. Now, I'm still doing game shows. This is just a Game Boy show. I'm just trying new things out. I don't know where it's going to take me. Sometimes you're going to mission match these little things of tech to find where it takes us. Not be afraid. Now, I may look at other top 10 lists to see where the fluff is, or is there an average out there? Is there a Gordon ratio or anything like that? What should it be? But all I can do is start by looking at them. I think it's entertaining. It shows you how much they put in to the show itself, of themselves, and the rest is just like the facts. I hope I've saved you some time, and if you like it, tell a friend. Hopefully they'll like it too, or at least this shortened, condensed version. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Kid, your mom is standing right there. She must have noticed the light. Oh no, this light is doing more harm than it is doing good. Just put it away. Act like nothing happened. She's standing right there. She does not look happy. Well, her face is shaded, so maybe she's like, oh, silly Derek. He's playing Game Boy when he should be sleeping. That's my boy. But her hands are on her hips. She does not look happy. You might be getting punished, kid.